swear the chicks is thicker. Reppin' for the team, that's the bench of Houston sippers. She don't want your liquor, she don't want your chipper. She poppin' for a legend, that's a real massa flipper. This is for la raza, this is for la raza. I'm in my trap, casa whipping up the damn massa.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the What Did He Said podcast. It's your boy Chingo, Bling. If you hear that noise in the background, it's because Houston is hot as hell, and I can't handle humidity anymore now that I got back from LA. But we got Rob, the producer, in the house.
What's up, everyone?
Mighty Soul is running some crazy errands today. But we have a very special guest, Mr. Sam Demaris.
Hey, what's up?
Represent the comedy, man. Comedy game.
Bro. In that LA weather, that'll get you spoiled as shit, won't it?
Yeah, it's nice, man. So
can I say that on here?
Of course.
Okay.
100%. Yeah, you can do. You can say, do whatever. So I was doing a little spot at the at Rudyard's, and I ran into Sam, and I'm like, Sam, you mentioned you stay in L.A. now.
Yeah, man. I moved out to Hollywood because I'm stupid. That city is. LA would be the best city in the world if you got rid of like 6 million of those people.
Man, for real.
And if I
Make
got to
some
pick them.
space. Yeah, and then
right?
you pick them.
Yeah, I do that shit a weekend. You know what I mean? Like Kardashians. There's 11 gone right there.
Yeah.
I just started. That's 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Every dude who comes
I'm already
up,
doing good. Yeah,
every dude who comes up, you want to buy my mixed CD? Get the fuck out. You're done.
Come here. Get in
out.
that van. Get in that van right there.
I
I want to hear your CD. Yeah, put it. Get in that van.
Yeah, put it on in the van.
Yeah.
No, I just put a sticker on you and they airlift you out like Mario Kart and drop your ass off in Utah or some shit.
With some drones and
yeah,
shit.
Just
Wyoming, Montana.
Free ride to Utah, baby.
So, man, I've met you a few times, but you're definitely known as like a staple of the Houston comedy scene. Like, definitely a veteran, man.
Yeah, I've been around. I started here in Houston in 2001, and I just stayed here till 2016. And I moved out to L.A., honestly, like overnight because somebody pissed me off.
Really?
Yeah.
What was it, a breakup or something?
No, man. It was a club owner, man.
Oh.
I was, so I'd been trying to move to L.A. for like 6 years. Uh-huh. And this dude, he would always middle me, and I kept asking him to bump me up to headline. Mm-hmm. And his gigs were drivable from here. But so I was working for him in Oklahoma City, right? And it was Sunday night when I got paid. And I was like, hey, man, so what about moving me up to headline your rooms? And he was like, yeah, I'm just not sure. I was like, this time next year, I'm be living in L.A., so your gigs won't be drivable anymore. I'm not coming out here for middle act money.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he told me, he's like, you've been telling me you're going to move to L.A. for 6 years and you still live in Houston.
Oh.
Damn.
Bruh,
and you were like, bitch.
My brother-in-law works for United Airlines, so I get like $60, $70 one-ways anyway. Bro, I walked out of that club. I called my sister that night. I was like, get me on the first thing smoking in Los Angeles. I landed in L.A. on Monday. I woke up hungover as shit Tuesday on the floor of my empty apartment.
So you landed and you had an apartment lined up already in L.A.?
So my roommate, he was already living out there for like 10 years, and his lease was up, so he was couch crashing with somebody. And I called him. I was like, I'm coming. Let's go find a place. Uh-huh. And he was like, I got this place in mind, but it ain't going to last long. I was like, let's go there tomorrow. And I landed in L.A. He picked me up at the airport. We went, filled out all the shit. They were like, approved. They gave me the key. We went out and got drunk. Dude, I woke up Tuesday in that apartment. I didn't even remember what the hell I did. And then I just was like,
some LA shit. Yeah.
I was like, do I live in LA now?
Where the fuck am I?
And then I did. And so I had to fly back to Oklahoma City to get my car. And then
drive it to Cali?
And then drive it back down here and tell everybody I don't live here no more.
Yeah, so what happened to all your stuff in Houston?
A lot of it's still here, but it took me a while. That was October, and then it wasn't until June when I took my car and like the big stuff out.
Yeah.
And so I just moved to LA like overnight.
Yeah, because honestly, one thing we realized, we were out there for the month with kids and wife and everybody, no babysitter. But one thing we realized is like, you can kind of just start over. Like, you don't have to haul all your shit. Pretty much damn near, like they say, everything's like replaceable. Especially like babies' toys. They're all plastic anyway. I mean, you can go to Big Lots and buy like just. She likes to play with the empty box anyway. You know what I mean? Random shit. But yeah, man. How you feel like in terms of the amount of opportunity that's out there?
Dude, there's so much stuff that you don't even think about. like when you get out there. You know what I mean? Like I went out like, oh, I want to go out. I want to do comedy spots, and I want to get on like a TV show or whatever. Man, I'm about to start taking this voiceover acting class. There's all kinds of shit, man. And I wish I would have gone out when I was younger, because I ended up at a party once with all these stuntmen in Hollywood, and they were like, "You can do it." You know what I mean? I'm like,
Stunt work?
Yeah. I'm like, I'm a little too old for that now. Like, if I would have gone out when I was 25, that's what I'd be doing right now. But there's so many opportunities for shit that you didn't even think of out there.
Yeah.
You can just get a job doing anything in the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
There's dudes out there who all their job is to go set up food, and they make bank.
Yeah, craft service people.
Yeah, they make bank.
Yeah.
And I think like that within a week, I went and sat at a taping of Jimmy Kimmel. I was like, this is great. You know what I mean? Just sitting there, Jimmy Kimmel's right there, and then he was like, I want to introduce my first guest, Matthew McConaughey. He walked out, and I was like, I'm gay now, I guess, because that dude, he's.
When one of your dreads kind of got a little tingle. It's like,
yes. If Sunshine could talk, that would be
funny.
Matthew McConaughey.
That's why they got him in those Lincoln commercials.
Yeah.
Damn right, acting all weird and shit.
Yeah, playing pool and shit. What was I gonna ask you about about LA?
I had a question. Is your goal like to be just in the industry or to make it as just solely a comic?
You know what, man? I don't know. Right now, the voiceover thing I think is great. Because it's weird when you put a camera in front of my face. It's so hard for me to not look at that camera. But I mean, listen to my voice. It sounds it's not normal. So I'm like, yeah, you put me in a voiceover booth, voice some cartoon or some shit like that. But I don't gotta worry about not looking at a camera. I can pretty much be picking my nose, doing whatever the hell I want. That sounds perfect. Plus, man, people don't know. You get into a kid's cartoon.
Oh man,
that kids like.
Oh yeah, that's money.
Yeah, you're done. That guy who voices SpongeBob, you don't know who he is.
Super
but guess
paid.
what? He'll never work again in his life.
One time I was in a lift, and the driver lady, she was telling me that her baby daddy is the voice of he did like Winnie the Pooh. This is an older lady. Winnie the Pooh, Optimus Prime.
What?
Like she just started naming his. She was like, "Yeah, you never heard of like Phil Franco or some shit?
Yeah.
Some
Optimus.
fucking. You know his name?
I forgot his name,
No,
but
I think
yeah.
that is his name. I
It's
think
something like
Franco.
that. But she just like she commenced to like the whole ride just tearing him a new one. Like, this son of a bitch, you never believe what the fuck he did one day. And this lady said she used to do comedy too, and then she started telling me these crazy stories about I used to work for Frank Sinatra's son, and I don't take any shit, and he loved it. You know, that's why he hired me. I was like, hey, you got a lot of nerve. Or whatever. One of them type of people, because
Yeah.
the Uber
And-
drivers out there be interesting.
And that's why you're driving the fucking Uber,
Right?
Huh? You did
Interesting,
all-
yeah.
did all that shit.
They just since the new Toy Story came out, did y'all see the side by side of Tim Allen and Tom Hanks doing the voiceovers in the late '80s, early '90s, and then still them doing it now?
Oh, no, I haven't seen the comparison.
pretty
Nah.
cool, really cool video.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
Again, bank.
yeah,
I'm a toy cowboy,
yeah.
and not like Tom Hanks needed any more
Right.
loot, but again, I guarantee you, when Tom Hanks started acting, he did not think, I'm gonna make $100 million being a toy cowboy.
Well, Eddie Murphy, he's made more money from Shrek than he did from anything else in his career.
You serious?
Yeah, he made more money from Donkey, from being Donkey
Really?
in Shrek than he did from anything else.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Oh,
mean, you think
residuals
about
and
it.
everything?
I'll bring it up.
You
But-
think about it, like when Eddie Murphy's heyday was like back in the '80s, they weren't even paying what they pay now. You know what I mean? Beverly Hills Cop. It's funny as all hell, but you know, you could buy a good car for like $5,000 back then. You know what I mean?
Huh.
So now what he's getting paid off of that, it's probably ridiculous.
Yeah, he was doing arenas and stadiums and all type of shit. Also, speaking of voiceovers and comedians, there's a cat in California. His name's Jeff Garcia. He did the
I know Jeff.
Jimmy Neutron, or he did some voice on a cartoon, and he
Wouldn't
got
surprise me.
he got super paid. Like that was like his little lotto ticket.
Damn.
He
Yeah,
got on
man.
that.
Dude, Jeff, I opened for him, God, years ago, and he used to do this thing where he would just talk to people in the crowd or whatever, and he'd ask them questions about themselves. And at the end of the show, he would close the show. He would go left to right, and he would make up a story based on all the shit that they said.
What the
And
fuck?
he
Like
remembered.
callback? Wow.
Yes, he remembered every single thing he talked to these people about, and that's how he closed the show. and he would do it, and he would be drinking on stage where I'm like, bro, one shot, and I don't remember a damn thing this person said.
Wow.
But he had it. He was Jeff was good, man. I don't know, is he still really out there hustling stand up?
I mean, I've never met him, but I've heard that he's still on the West Coast, popping up here and there.
Because it was like, I don't know if it was Last Comic Standing or if it was another show that Comedy Central had that was like Last Comic Standing, where he made the show, made it to the house. It was like, yeah, fuck this. It just walked out.
What? On which show? Oh, wait. He quit. Yeah, it was like a reality show.
Yeah, it was like a reality
like
show with a bunch of comics.
Well,
he was like, it's bullshit. He left.
I heard about that. It was like Theo Von, I want to say like Bert Kreischer, them kind of folks. They were talking about it on a podcast. They were like, yeah, fucking Jeff Garcia, like he quit, and they just started naming like people that dropped out and like or whatever.
Yeah, but he was the first one, and it happened on air. He was like, yeah, no, this is dumb. I'm not fucking doing this.
Yeah.
It's just, it's one of those shots that every comic, like a lot of comics, would just kill to have.
Yeah.
And no matter how stupid it was, they'd be like, you know what, I don't care. I'll get a check. I'm on TV. Jeff was like, nah, man, you ain't fucking up my brand.
Yeah.
I'm out.
He probably had that Jimmy Neutron money already, too.
Right. So Forbes named him one of the highest paid voice actors. For the first one, he made $3 million. The second and third, he made $10 million for each movie. So around like $30 million just for the projects. And then the residuals, who knows? I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
Because the movie made over $300 million in 1998.
Yeah, and that's interesting. Yeah, voice acting, that's a whole nother thing. My buddy Jerry Garcia, he did a voice on this cartoon called Ploey. It's I think it's on HBO or something like that. But yeah, voice acting, yeah, you definitely have like a character. I don't want to call it cartoonish, right? You gonna give me
No. I want
Like,
people to think it's cartoonish. That's the
yeah,
whole goal.
let me close my eyes and picture.
Yes,
Yeah.
make sure that you call it cartoonish so people who hire for cartoons hear this fucking podcast. Be like,
Yeah.
it does sound. He'd be perfect for Jimmy Neutron.
Yeah, animation is dope, man. They're coming out with a lot of technology that I think is making it. I think they're outsourcing a lot of shit too to like India and like other countries, Russia. Yeah, the techie motherfuckers that That's why all these cartoons look the same now. They don't look how they used to. Mm-hmm. Like we compare, like we'll pay attention to what the kids are watching, and it's like, what the fuck? When did Ninja Turtles start looking like this?
That's a good point, man. I never thought of that.
It's like some CGI shit. They're just the software changed.
Yeah,
and it's not the same process. They're not having to like, I guess, draw shit a certain way.
And it's weird, like, I guess if you're a kid and that's all you knew, that's one thing. But I feel like when I was a kid, if they would have made that shift on me, I'd been like, this is dumb. Yeah. Like, I don't like this. I like the Ninja Turtles because it looked like I could have drawn it with a crayon. You know what I mean? That was fun.
I used to
back
draw
then.
Ninja Turtles. For real? I still can, yeah.
Can you draw?
Nah.
I'm
sure if I looked on YouTube like how to draw, I could probably figure it out. So in 01, what club did like walk me through the process? I'm always fascinated by like what makes people get the courage to first time get on stage.
Yeah.
Ad in the paper. There was a little shitty newspaper called the Public News here in Houston. Back when newspapers used to exist,
right.
millennials, there was these pieces of paper that they put words in, and you had to buy ads in.
Huh, sounds archaic.
And, it
ads? You mean like Google?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, kind of like
ads?
that. It looked like that, except you paid for it, and it was printed on paper. Paper was this thing that we made out of trees.
The thing that used to suck up CO2, which we have too much of.
Right?
Yeah.
But, yeah, man, there was a thing in the paper that said, if you think you're funny, come try stand-up comedy. And I was at U of H. I was a theater major in college. Mm-hmm. So I was already a performer, and I was like, I'm going to go do this shit. And I went and I did it, and it was a lot harder than Eddie Murphy made it look. Mm-hmm. I ate shit, and I have no idea why I went back.
What club was it?
It was a Laugh Stop.
Okay.
Over on West Gray. That club was there forever. May it forever rest in peace. It was the best thing that ever happened in the city. But yeah, and I just kept going back. And we only had one open mic. It was on Monday nights. And it'd be like 50, 60 comics there.
One open mic.
Yes.
So that means you got no time, right?
No, everybody got 5 minutes.
Okay.
Everybody got 5 minutes. And if you were a pro, you got 6. And there were so many comics there that, like, at the end of the night, because you had to show up, put your name in a bucket, and they drew, and you pick your spots or whatever. At the end of the night, there'd be people who never got on. And if you didn't get on, they'll write those names down. If you came back the next Monday, you got to pick your spot first before the drawing ever happened. So that's how they kept it fair.
Yeah.
And dude, it was packed to the rim with people. Like in the summertime when college wasn't in, that bitch was standing room only at that open mic. And the owner, well, not the owner of the club, the guy who booked the club, like the GM of the club, he sat in the back at every open mic and he watched every comic go on.
Wow.
And if you crushed, that's how you ended up getting paid work at the show, at the club. So it wasn't just an open mic. It was an open mic of motherfuckers swinging for the fences. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People dressed up for that open mic. They were like, yeah, man, let's go. Because if I go and I crush it, I'll actually get in and work the club. And, bro, like, other comics used to come in from out of town. Like, they would come in and work the club. And, like, the last show would be on Saturday or Sunday. And they would stick around till Tuesday. Because that's how good the mic was, man. I met Rogan there when I was a kid. Lewis Black, Nick DiPaolo. I mean, all these cats. Mitch Hedberg hung out there a lot.
Wow.
But yeah, man, all these cats, they would stick around and then they'd go back to LA and everything. They'd be like, you gotta go to Houston to go see this thing. Like, it's an open mic and it's fucking packed.
Oh, I've been hearing about it on podcasts. Like, up until like last week, I heard people saying like, "Oh, that was another thing."
Dude, Joey Diaz and Rogan were talking about it like 2 or 3 days ago again. Like, they talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was,
Oh man,
I was lucky that I happened to start right in it. You know what I mean?
I wish I would have started. Part of me wishes I would have started in 01. Because in 01, I graduated from college. And that's when nobody was hiring me. And I was tired of fucking with them staff agencies. And I was starting to dabble in like, well, I guess I'll do real estate school. Because this degree ain't doing shit.
What was the degree?
Business administration. Which, whatever the fuck that means, right?
You couldn't get a job with a BA in
like a sales job. I don't know. Maybe I wasn't trying hard enough. Maybe like...
You know what? I say that, man. My homeboy's got a BA and he's managing a fucking restaurant. So, he is...
Yeah, so it's all in your hustle, I think. Maybe I sucked at interviewing. They could tell I didn't want to be there. But anyway...
But when I say he's managing a restaurant, he didn't get that job managing a restaurant because of his degree. He got promoted from being a waiter to
damn. Of course.
Yeah. And so this was the job he had while he was getting his BA, and he still got it. So obviously he did not find greener grass anywhere.
Yeah, I've heard of several cases like that where people was like, I don't use that degree. They pay me well to manage, this restaurant, and it's like,
I can't think of one person that I know, like close friends, that are using their degree in their career.
Yeah, it's rare.
Well, I can't either, but my close friends are fuck ups.
So in 01, I started dabbling in the music stuff and like mixtapes and rapping and stuff, and that started to pick up steam. Although I did go meet Juan Villarreal for like advice. He had a room off 45 and Telephone. It was like the Island Club or something upstairs. So I was so it was like 01, 02 maybe. And I was like, I really want to do stand-up. And I was like, hey, man, nice to meet you. I'm from here. I want to do stand-up. What do I do? And he's like, okay, well, have you ever hit an open mic? And it was real brief or whatever. And we ended up linking up later. But the music stuff started picking up. But I was like, damn, I could have at least experienced that Laugh Stop.
That was Latino Comedy House.
Yeah, that's what he would call it.
Place used to be called the Garibaldi. It was like a little ballroom they did quinceañeras and shit in.
Was it the upstairs thing?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it was
you
like
came
around.
in downstairs and had the big, like, nice staircase or whatever. That's where the ballroom was where people did shit. And then upstairs is where he stuck us. I did that thing because I think for a while he was doing it like every Thursday.
I can't remember, man.
I used to go out every Thursday. Because, look, and I'm not saying this because I'm on your podcast trying to kiss your ass. Since I started, Latino crowds have been my favorite crowds to perform for. And Juan pulled that out on 45 and Wayside. So it was like I knew I could walk in there and just crush. Because Latino audiences come to a show to party.
Yeah.
And
drink.
You just happen to be there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Black crowds come to a show hostile. Just, motherfucker, you better be funny. You better be funny. If he ain't funny, we gonna throw his ass at you. They watch all that Apollo shit, and they're just like, I can boot him off stage and do whatever I want.
Yeah.
White crowds come in, and they, it's 50-50. Sometimes they came to party. Sometimes they came to party too much. They won't shut up. But then a lot of times they're just like, well, I'm just going to sit here and wait until something funny happens.
Yeah, politely.
You know?
Yeah.
Latinos, they show up and they're just like, all right, when he stops talking, everybody laugh.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
More buckets.
More
No,
buckets.
shit, yeah. Down the Rio Grande Valley, man, there's a whole stretch of gigs I used to do every year, and I loved them. I just go down there, have fun, crush the show, get done with the show, walk out, buy cheap-ass beers everywhere I went, and then wake up and repeat.
Sounds like a good ass time.
Hell yeah, McAllen and Harlingen and Brownsville and all that.
Shit, I'll be in McAllen this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then back in the music days, I mean, we used to bleed that area as well. Like, you know, mixtapes, like a rap suburban, and you just like, your social media was, let's walk around the mall and get noticed because they're going to tell we're not from around here. And they're going to be like, what are y'all doing down here? And it's like, oh, we just dropped off CDs at such and such record store, but I have some on me too if you want to buy some, and we might be doing a show tomorrow if this fucking promoter.
Send his ass to
Dude,
Utah.
man.
Send his ass right to Utah.
Right? Yeah, that'd have been me.
I got some on me right now. Get
Hey man,
the
you
fuck
like rap?
out.
Hey man, you like rap music? Hey, say you like rap music? No man, I'm good, man. I'm done.
But in 2001, how many people were doing that on a regular basis that you saw, handing out mixtapes, high CDs, everyone, right?
Yeah, and some folks, they would brag about how many units they were moving, but I would see how they did it, and it was basically like annoy the shit out of people, like be really hostile and like aggressive with people, to where it'd be like, here's $5, leave me the fuck alone. So it's like, they're not fans. You're not gaining fans. You're not gaining
They're
any
just scared.
traction.
Let me tell you something, dude. Like 99, 2000-ish, dude. Because I mean, now with the internet and social media, it's everything's changed. But when you say how many people that I see doing that, there was a dude who they used to do reprogrammed hip hop nights at Fitzgerald's, and it was just a dude spinning old school hip hop down there. There's a dude out there who used to give mixtapes away. And then you go to King's Flea Market over off 610, motherfucker be out there giving mixtapes away, just putting them in your fucking hands and whatnot. And dude's name was South Park Mexican.
Oh yeah,
And
hustled, yeah.
Bruh, any show you went to, man, like Method Man and Redman came to town. That boy was in the parking lot. Any hip hop show you went to, I saw him everywhere because I grew up in South Park.
Okay.
And so I would always talk to him. He was like, yeah, man, what part you stay at? He's like, oh, I was over here. I was like, yeah, I'm like Slidsky and LK. And so I knew him because of that. And then out of nowhere, man, I heard a track of
Boom.
his on the radio.
Boom.
And then things just kept blowing up and blowing up and blowing up. And I was like, you know, damn what he did afterwards. But he earned that shit. 'Cause I remember watching him walking around with that backpack full of shit.
Yeah, exactly. I remember when I first heard of South Park Mexican, I was probably like coming home from fucking high school in New Jersey. That's a whole nother fucking story. But I was coming home from high school in New Jersey, and I think I might have heard him do like an interview on the radio, or heard people bumping his stuff and quoting his stuff. And I was like, damn, this dude's from here and he's Mexican. And then when I started dabbling in like going to visit the Southwest Wholesale, it was a big music distributor over on 290. And they were telling me like, yeah, we carry a lot of product, but he keeps the lights on around this bitch. Like SPM was like blowing Tejano bands, like Cash Money was still kind of coming up. They hadn't got their big deal yet. You had a lot of big local record labels, but out of Southwest, he was like one of probably top 2 or 3, or maybe even the main one. Like he could literally just walk in, just start using the printer if he wanted to. You know what I mean? Like, oh shit, it's SPM.
But just like a lot
But
of
that hustle.
comics right now, couldn't keep it in his fucking pants. You let a dick destroy an empire, man.
Yeah, you gotta keep your nose clean. You know. When
Yeah,
you're under the
man,
microscope.
especially that old more money, more problems. Yeah, once you get up and get successful, people are looking. People are looking to see what the hell you're doing.
And now they got facial recognition software, cameras everywhere, drones. You
Listening
can't
to you at all times.
It's like Chingo was picking his nose on the corner of Maine and Fannin. We got evidence.
See, that's my thing. I don't want to be that famous, okay? Like, I want to be famous enough to where my bills are paid, but I don't want nobody with a camera in my face while I'm picking my nose on my car. Like, I don't want that. You know what I mean? Like, you know, give me a little bit of that George Wallace and whatnot, but don't give me Kevin Hart fame.
Yeah,
you know
George
what I mean?
Wallace. Under the radar fame.
Yeah, just like everybody knows my name, everybody respects me. I get paid, but I can take my daughter to the mall without somebody asking her questions. What's it like to be his daughter? Get the fuck out of my face, man.
You know what I heard on another podcast. It was Schultz and what's the name? Ginger Whiskey.
Oh yeah, Whiskey Ginger.
Santino. So they were talking about how sometimes the industry wants to like squeeze the juice out of people and like overexpose them, where it's like, we're gonna put you in everything. And they named Tiffany Haddish as an example, where they're really trying to like, she's an example of they like trying to shove her down your throat. Like, yeah, she's funny, but they literally just like cut the neck and it's like, get the juice out.
Yeah.
They killed Dane Cook with it.
Right.
They killed Amy Schumer with it. Here's the
Overexposure.
thing. Here's the thing, man. If Kevin Hart, because he's like a lot of people, Kevin Hart, he was behind the scenes guy. He'd been around a long time. And the thing is, if Kevin Hart didn't have the years and years of experience where people didn't really know who he was, they would have killed him. If he was a new act, think about how much content they're putting out with Kevin Hart. You know what I mean? But the thing is, Kevin Hart's been doing this for so long that when they finally gave him his shot, he was ready. They're like, give us more shit. He's like, I got a lot more shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But meanwhile, you got guys like Haddish and Amy Schumer and Dane Cook, who it took them 8 years to get this first hour that you love, and then 1 year later you're like,
where's
give me
the other
another
one?
hour. Give me another hour.
Yeah.
Give me another
that
hour.
sophomore hour.
Yeah,
Because the
man.
freshman one is like, it takes you 10 years to come to cook
Bruh,
up.
Amy was holding her own for a while, and then that leather special happened, and I was like, who is this chick?
So I haven't watched it. I've heard a lot about
18 minutes is as far as I've made it. And that's me sitting down and trying twice. Is
So
bad.
it was just not funny.
There's no punchlines. I mean, it's just she's up there talking, and it's like,
All set up.
yeah, man, it's all set up, and then like, wow, like, isn't that weird? You just what is this?
Yeah. It was
She
like
was-
it was like Chingo at Rudyard's on a Monday night. That's what she did. Except she did it at Madison Square Garden or some shit.
Was it really?
Something big. Apollo.
I think it might have been. That was I think the Apollo
That's some
one or the
gentrification
one
shit.
before. Yeah,
That's some
man.
gentrification shit. You got, well, first of all, you calling it the leather special. Where'd you get that from? Eddie Murphy?
Oh.
That's a reference,
Dude,
right?
Yes,
Ah,
she
good point.
said every big comic has a special where they're all on all leather. She cited Eddie Murphy and Chris Rock, and I was like, who the fuck you think you are?
Damn.
Yeah, you ain't. Yeah.
Look, man, I've been doing this 18
It's like
years.
I never saw
okay?
you at King's Flea Market,
right?
which has changed. Have you been to King's lately?
No.
The whole area around it is really like there's new condo apartment.
They
looking thing. Like,
gentrified King's Flea Market?
I wouldn't say it's gentrified yet. And sorry, hold that thought because I interrupted you.
Oh, no,
but
that's all good.
I think they built like there's a metro rail that runs through there. Just I don't recognize. Like I used to go to King's for like different reasons, but now it's like oh shit, damn, this is okay. It's new, a bunch of new shit.
That would have been called the Jack Rail in the 90s. Oh, really? You just got off the rail, huh? You came here with some money? Give me that shit. Nah, it wasn't that
Yeah,
bad.
leather special, right? That's
Yeah.
I mean, Amy.
18 years though, man. You give me my first special. The last thing I want you to be thinking about is Eddie Murphy or Chris Rock, right? Because
Don't
I'm
compare.
good. I'm not that good.
Yeah.
Like those dudes
Yeah,
are-
she threw herself in that same sentence. And sometimes, man, like when stuff like that goes down, my thought goes to your team. Who did you have around you that kind of kept it real? Like other sharp comics that, you know what I'm saying? Like if Sam was in Amy's circle, he probably would have pulled her aside like, hey, Amy, you might want to tone this one down. Let's shoot a practice shot. Let's go over some things.
Yeah.
You know?
And if you want to do it in leather, say you just say you want to do a show in leather, man. Don't compare yourself to those two dudes. Like that's what I always thought with the Kathy Griffin thing when she posted that
The
picture of
head,
her with
yeah.
the head or whatever.
Tripping.
That's what I wanted to know was who around you
Yeah.
did not tell you how bad this could go.
Yeah, because DT don't play.
But DT,
DT got a list.
DT don't play, but is somebody like if I was sitting with Kathy Griffin, I'd been like, hey, dude, I don't like that motherfucker either.
But what's
But
funny
that's the
about
president.
Yeah.
And
Secret
I
Service.
just want you to think 4 years ago, if you would have been holding Obama's head,
Yeah.
I want you to think about how bad that would have gone and realize this could possibly go just as bad.
Yeah. Like it's almost like you have to almost weigh out like, okay, what are you aiming to gain out of this? Like what situation are you in right now? What like why are you desperate to are you a provocateur now? You a thought provoking type of person, or are you what lane are you in? Are you a comedian? If so, what's funny about this?
Yeah.
Versus you just trying to do shock, which is gonna you're gonna be in a shitstorm of controversy.
Yeah, you trying to do shock, and you making CNN Anderson Cooper New Year's Eve money. You know what I mean?
No shit.
If I would have come up with that idea, I would have gone. I would have gone to another conference like, look, man, you on your way up. Maybe you should try this shock shit, but I ain't about to mess up
my for show money.
Rocket Eve money. Real. You know what I mean?
Fuck up my for show money.
I make a year's salary on one night between 7 p.m. and midnight.
I didn't even know she was on that.
Oh, every year it was.
She was on that.
It was her tormenting it. It was pretty funny too, because Anderson Cooper's always so straight laced, and they be in that booth together.
He's a straight man.
Yeah. We both had the same thought.
Yeah.
He was playing the straight man. She always be in there just fucking with him, and it was funny to watch. Like I would always turn it on in the background before I went out and got shit faced.
But in a time where everyone gets so offended, like where everyone will take any reason to get offended, why do something like that?
Yeah, it's. Like you said, what's funny about it? Because let me tell you something. There's a million funny poses that you could have done with you and the president you don't like. You know what I mean? Yeah. But severed head, considering that's what ISIS does, is they come out from American people's heads
and stupid shit like that.
I'm like, we're at war with people who want that photo.
And if I'm not mistaken, it was like a artist. It was like a visual artist or something that it was. He kind of like drug her into that, like, oh, I want you to participate in this thing because I'm an artist. It's so, like, shit, why me, motherfucker?
From what I heard was the original picture had a quote next to it, and it was like he was bleeding from his eyes and wherever else, which is what Trump said about Megyn Kelly when he made a period joke after an interview. But then when the media got a hold of it, they just put the picture up without the fucking quote. So now you just look like it's some militant chick holding the severed head.
Yeah, tripping. Hey, I want to ask you. I want to ask you something. I believe Slade told me a story one time about. If I'm not mistaken, maybe you could fill in the details. It was something like some kind of sketchy gig, a lot of like biker looking dudes, and there was some kind of flag or something, and you went up there and like out the gate you said something.
Okay, so there was this bike rally, Lake Somerville, Texas, right? And Slade calls me up because he got booked to do this bike rally. And he goes, hey, man, who do you know who could fill like 20, 30 minutes in front of me for this bike rally? I was like, me, dude. He goes, yeah, man, but there's bikers in the South. And I was like, but it'll make for a great story.
Yeah.
And, man, we showed up. All these dudes out there on their bikes. I pull up in a Honda Accord. So there's some black dude driving a Japanese bike among all these Harleys. It started off bad already. We meet up, do a sound check, whatever. I go on, like I was going on first, so they introduced me, said Demaris, and the crowd cheers, and then I come walk out the back. They didn't boo, but you just heard the applause die really fast.
What part of Texas is this?
It's Lake Somerville. It's like
East Texas?
No, it's not far from here. Like maybe an hour and a half away from here.
Northeast?
I think it's a little bit. I should know this.
Okay.
I drove.
I'm just guessing because I'm over here thinking like Lufkin, Huntsville. Like there's a prison there. Not a very diverse.
But so
Jamie.
I walk out.
Jamie, pull it up. Pull that shit up.
Jamie, pull that shit up, Jamie.
I walk out and they're just like, you see they're stunned. Like, who the fuck is this black dude up here? Whatever. I had on a jacket, and I was like, I know y'all looking at me weird because they're like, what is he doing here? And I unzipped my jacket. I had on a Motorhead shirt underneath my jacket. And I was like, this is a little bit better than, okay. And, no, it's Confederate flags as far as the eye can see. Like, everybody's got one above their tent. They're waving everywhere. And Dale Earnhardt had just died. And right next to the stage, there was this big Confederate flag waving. And it had the Dale Earnhardt 3 in the middle of it. And I looked at it, I was like, so I'd like to thank y'all for all these lovely flags. You make me feel very welcome. I see that one there has a big 3 on it. Have a funny feeling if I don't make it home tonight, there's going to be a 4 on that bitch tomorrow. Crushed them. Bam. And after that, I could do no wrong. Then I come off stage, and this biker dude came up and he was like, you say you like Jack Daniels? I was like, yeah. He's bottle of Jack in my hand. He was like,
Hell
"That's
yeah.
yours, bro. Good work." And
Wow.
they gave us a golf cart. We were riding around. These bikers, they fucking love me. And
That's awesome,
I went
man.
back. I did. I think 2 more bike rallies with Slade, and he booked me for one. And Outlaw Dave was like, "Yo, you're bringing Sam to a bike rally?" And Slade's like, "Just watch." He's like, "Just watch." He goes, "You think it sounds like a recipe for disaster, but just watch. At the end of the night,
It's like he cooks
they
with
will
these
fucking
ingredients."
Love it.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
What?
And I would love to do another one. I love doing bike rallies.
So
That's fun.
that's an example of like you kind of addressing almost like the elephant in the room in a way, but just hitting stuff head on to where like it was endearing and you just drew them in. And
Yeah, well, I mean, like you said, the elephant in the room. I walk out, there's a black dude at a motorcycle rally, and there's all these Confederate flags around. You know what I mean? Like, and it's one of those, like, even they probably felt weird. They're like, well, if I knew he was going to be here, maybe I wouldn't have this fucking thing hanging on my bike. But then when you walk in and you do a joke about it, and it's like, clearly, I don't give a damn about your stupid-ass flag. I don't care. Then they're like, okay, it just breaks the tension that was there. Like, for the second they saw me, there was tension. They're just like, man, this is weird. We thought this was going to be our weekend at the lake. What's he doing here? He can't even swim.
they're like, they're like, I'm not too comfortable because apparently there's a white guy doing blackface up on stage, and I'm not with that.
Hey, if I can't do it, how come he can do it?
I'm not with Lee Press on dreads.
Lee Press on dreads. That's copyrighted, by the way. Don't go
Press
make
on
those
dreads.
those copyright Chingo Bling.
Hey man, so in LA, like as a Houstonian, as a Texan, how do you feel? How does that come into play? Do people think like, oh, Texas? Like when you meet comics out there, are they like, oh, okay, we're familiar with the heritage of the comedy scene, or they don't know what to think?
Okay, so Texas is in the comedy scene out there. Is you're from Houston? It's actually pretty cool, man. Because, you know, I mean, back in the day, you had the old outlaw comics that they all knew about. Andy Huggins' name is on the wall at the Comedy Store.
Yeah.
Then for a while there, we had a rash up there. Ralphie May came out there from Houston.
Yep.
Sean Rouse came out there from Houston. You know what I mean? John Wesley came out. He was on
Bill
Central
Hicks.
Rose. Yeah, that's the thing. Everybody had these Houston ties. And like you said, you know, you had Rogan and Joey Diaz talking about what. So when you show up, when people say, where are you from? You say Houston. It gets a warm reception. You know what I mean? People are like, oh shit, they're still sending, Houston's still sending motherfuckers out here. You know what I mean? Because
We got Mo now.
Yeah, Mo
Yeah.
Ammer, Ali
Now,
Sadiq.
I
there's a bunch
think
of people.
Mo's doing a lot more out of the NYC than he is out of LA
Yeah,
now.
he's originally from.
But I mean, Ali, he went out there and crushed. So yeah, I mean, when you go out there, you say you're from Houston, you still get them eyes where people are like, oh shit, here's another one, because we got a pretty good track record for what we
Yeah.
send out there.
You think people from Austin they get the you one of those hipster, weird, awkward kind of comic guys?
It does kind of get a little bit of eye roll when you're like,
Yeah.
where you from? Austin? Oh shit.
yeah.
And the funny thing is, most of the time when you see them and you go, where you from? Before they even answer, you can look at what they're wearing and go, this is either Austin or Portland. Like, this
or
is
homeless, or homeless.
Yeah, or homeless. Yeah.
Except for Bryson Brown. Bryson, do you know Bryson?
Oh yeah, I
from
know
Austin?
Bryson.
Yeah, he don't do the Portland homeless look. But,
Nah.
but he's from Austin.
But he smokes just as much weed as I do.
yeah,
Dude,
Yeah, that boy loves weed.
yeah.
But I tell you what, man, being a Texan in LA, you want to know how it feels? It feels out of place as fuck. It is like, I live among you people. I am not one of you.
Yeah.
I am just not. And I've had to, since I moved out there, I've gone on the road, I've done gigs or whatever, and I've had to stop people when they go, ladies and gentlemen, your next comedian from Los Angeles, California. Don't say that. Do not say that.
Yeah.
No. I am not one of them. There is a Texas flag behind me. I don't care how much stupid shit my state does in the news, but I am from here. I am not one of them.
Yeah, I agree, man. I think it's a couple things. Number one, I like approaching situations like LA or whatever as an outsider.
Yes.
Because it's almost like what's the word I'm looking for, man? Like I'm already coming in from a different angle, a different perspective. I'm coming in fresh. Some of y'all might have already been beaten down on your dream to where you've now like, okay, I got to take a number and wait my fucking turn. Where I'm coming in like surgical strike, Navy SEAL, like we're only here for a month type of thing. And another thing too is it just not that it's like a little bit of mysterious or nothing like mystique or nothing, but that
there's
pride,
a bit of novelty to it.
Yeah, and pride too. Like I made sure the only hats I packed like to take out there were like my Rockets hat, my Astros hat, my Eighth Wonder hat, and like my tour hat. And I just told my girl, like, whatever you tell me to wear for my appearances and radio interviews or whatever, like, these are the hats. Just to bring that. Like, I lived in L.A. For a year, actually like 11 months before I tapped out. No, it was a year. My daughter, my 10-year, she's 10 now. She was, like, in kindergarten. So it was, like, 5 years ago. Anyway, you know, this second round, like, you know, going back, I definitely had that in mind. Like, yeah, keep that pride. Like, let motherfuckers know where you from. You know what I'm saying?
So, man, my roommate, he's also from here, man. He grew up in Pasadena. And when we come home, like, we'll go to Buc-ee's or whatever. And, I mean, you think of the shittiest Texas souvenir shirts or whatever, we buy them. And whenever we go out drinking, like, if we go out together, we wear just like those wolves howling at the moon, but it says Texas in the back. We will wear that shit.
Like that, like camouflage.
Yes. I dropped out of college to tell jokes for a living. I went to U of H. I will wear a U T-shirt out there just because it says Texas right across the. Texas flags hanging up in the house. My mouse pad at my computer is a Texas flag.
And it helps you feel connected, and you got to know your roots, and you don't want to get homesick either. So I even saw on YouTube, there's a dude out there. He's not a Texan, but he sells Central Texas style barbecue in L.A. and like out of his backyard. And they did a whole nice interview on him, and so supposedly people DM him when they want to be invited, and he's kind of like, you look cool. I'd like to hang out with you and eat barbecue. But they were showing it. It looked, the brisket, everything looked legit.
So here's the thing, man. That's hard as shit in L.A., okay? Because people are pussies. Dude, you fire up a smoker out there, people will call in and report you.
Oh,
and
wow.
Shit. Like, yeah, man, my apartment is, if you grill on your patio, just grill it. Like, not even like actual smoking a brisket. People just, it's blowing into my house.
Oh, wow.
And the apartment manager calls you and like, hey, could you not do that? I'm like, I'm in the middle of cooking. Like, it'll be over soon. But it's bothering people. But we have rooftop access. And I told my apartment manager, I was like, look, man, I will buy a smoker, put it on the roof, and anybody in the apartment building can use it, but it won't blow into people's shit. It'll just be out there or whatever. And I don't know if I can allow that. That. Yeah. And I'm like, let me tell you something. You want to allow it just for the shit that I'll bring into this office for you to eat. You want to allow it, and I gave up on it.
Wow.
She never gave me a definitive answer, but yeah, man, it's finding good barbecue out there is hard because it's hard to find somewhere where you can actually do it.
What clubs do you hit out there?
I do Flappers a lot.
Yeah, Burbank.
I do Flappers in Burbank a lot. They have seemed to be the most welcoming as far as I've been concerned. You know what I mean? I went out there years ago. I did their audition process, and they liked me. They already kind of knew me, but then it was years later when I came back out, and I was getting ready to go do the audition process again, and the Burbank Comedy Festival was going on. My friend was in it, and then when I showed up, they were like, "Oh, I remember you," and blah blah. And then I know Christopher Titus, and he's good with them out there, and they're like, "Yeah, Titus talks about you." So they were just really welcoming, like right out the gate when I got there. So
nice.
They're the nicest. I've done the store a few times. For some reason, every time I go on, the guy who's in charge of making sure you stay in is never in the room. I've done the Laugh Factory once, I believe. I've done the Hollywood Improv twice. But other than that, man, I stay out on the road.
Have you ever done Ruby Tuesdays at the Laugh Factory?
No.
I can connect you with them. And then there's a Thursday. Hopefully my word carries some kind of weight with them. Hopefully I didn't do too bad. There's a Thursday show that I was supposed to do in the Belly Room. Her name is Nichelle. It's called like Crack 'em Up Thursdays. It's the Belly Room Comedy Store. I actually had to cancel on her because some other shit came up. I had a host for a Mexican band.
Nice.
Yeah.
How big was that audience, by the way?
Which one?
The Intocable one.
Man, they're a big band. They sold out the House of Blues.
Oh, okay.
So it was like I don't know, a couple thousand people
Yeah.
standing, a balcony.
Yeah,
and,
yeah, cool.
they're all looking at me like, why is this roadie talking to us? Who the fuck is this guy? Who is this fucking
Yeah,
DJ?
man. I like it out there. I love the weather.
Oh man, yeah.
And like I said, I live in Hollywood. I love the fact that anything I want is walking distance.
Mm-hmm.
And like they got Uber Pool out there, which is some people, if you travel around, you know what it is. In Houston, we don't have it. But it's basically if you're willing to let somebody else jump in your Uber and share it, and then you get dropped off first or they get dropped off first, you take Uber for a much lesser price. And like if I wanted to leave my apartment and go to the Comedy Store, and Uber Pool is $3 there and $3 back. If I took my car to the Comedy Store, I'll spend about $15 to park.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just time, gas, and then just a headache
Yeah.
of looking for a spot and then like finding a lot and then getting with the guy, giving him money. Yeah.
And now Uber's got this little loyalty program. I'm fucking platinum with Uber because I have a car out in LA. It never moves.
Yeah.
It never moves. And then I do so much road stuff that I'm not gonna take my car to LAX and leave it there and pay $6,000 when I
Fuck
come
that.
back.
Yeah.
Hell
I'd
no.
rather spend $25 on an Uber Pool.
Yeah.
It's just less
Show up at
work,
the
less
airport.
headache too. Especially like if you have friends and family flying into LAX and they're like, "Oh, I landed at this time. Come scoop me." Nah, nah, you cool. Nah,
No.
mom, you getting an Uber? Like,
Yeah.
Let me tell you something, bro. You could be married to somebody and you can't get them to come get you from LAX.
nah,
Nobody.
No, I'm cool.
Nobody's coming to get you
Fuck
from
that.
LAX.
No,
dude.
because you about to that person now. Whoever's picking you up from LAX, like, it's the most inconsiderate thing. Like they just gonna tell you no because you're gonna tie up their whole afternoon. It's gonna take them time to get there, navigate through it.
Yeah, man. So it's going to take them about 45 minutes to get to LAX. Then when you get there, there's this big U horseshoe thing that's got a red light every 10 feet. And
People walking, pedestrians.
yes, and so that thing takes another 20, 30 minutes to get through. Then you got 45 minutes to get back where they came from. So yeah, and like it's you got to pack a lunch to go get somebody from LAX.
Yeah. All set.
That's why I told my wife, I was like, hey, if we end up staying in like the valley, like Glendale or North Hollywood or something, shit. I was like, remember, because she's lining up the tour for next year right now. I was like, remember Burbank Airport.
Yes, there's never anybody there.
It's like hobby. It's super laid back. Like your luggage comes out outdoors.
It's smaller than Hobby.
Yeah, super. Yeah, way smaller. It's like
Yeah.
one wing of hobby.
And when he said your luggage comes out outdoors, like if you don't see your luggage, and you know how when you go to the little counter, like, hey, my luggage lost. They're like, yeah, my luggage didn't go off the plane. They're like, hang on a second, Brenda, he ain't get his suitcase. Brenda just comes out, like eating a sandwich, going, I
My
thought
bad.
that was all of it. My bad. I did it twice, and
I love Burbank Airport.
oh god, it is smooth. And you're just like, this is LA. And here's the thing. So I live in Hollywood, right? LAX 45 minutes from my house. Burbank 10 minutes. Like it's in the city, and nobody takes it.
I never hear anybody talk about it.
Burbank Airport, baby. That's it.
Bob Hope Burbank Airport.
Mhm.
Yep.
Fuck
Nobody takes it, and it's a gold mine if you can get it. Especially, man, if you fly Southwest.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I
If
got
you fly Southwest and you went to LAX, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
You're an idiot.
Yeah, that was us. With two babies, no babysitter, and the baby needs two strollers because it's like, well, this is the jogger stroller. I'm like, why are we taking this? You know, it's like it's the jogger. She prefers this one. She faces out. You know what I mean? I'm like,
See, that's right there. That's a sign that you're too successful, Chingo.
it's just too much. You know what I'm saying?
No, you're too successful.
Yeah, I need to stay under the radar.
Yeah,
Man.
no. When your wife has the jogger stroller and the cruiser stroller, that means you
The
need to
convertible. Yeah,
take a pay cut.
yeah.
Because
Yeah, I need
somebody
to
got
drop down
comfortable.
my percentage at these clubs.
Shit,
but-
don't do that.
Nah, I'm just kidding.
Baby needs 5 strollers now. I
Yeah.
don't give a damn, baby. Buy as many strollers as you want. I'm keeping these fucking lights on.
So how
Yeah.
long you planning on staying out there? Sorry to interrupt.
No, good.
Right now, indefinitely. I like it. I do enough road stuff to where LA doesn't beat down on me.
Mm-hmm.
I travel a lot, and
Like what area? Like Midwest or where do you go?
so I do cruise ships.
Okay.
I normally have not been telling people I do cruise ships, but I don't care anymore.
Oh, why?
it
Why
pays.
is that your little secret?
You know, man, I don't think it has a negative stigma to other people, but when I was coming up, it always had a negative stigma to me. And it's not like I don't tell people about it because it's not like if I say, hey, man, I'm going to be on this cruise this week. And they're like, oh, we should go see him this weekend.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
you had to plan that shit out months
check,
ago.
yeah.
So there's what's the point? But, you know, like the thing with cruise ships, man, they'll fly you wherever you need to go. So what I love doing, because like the big part of that eats you up on the road is the clubs don't pay for travel. So what I like to do is in between ships, I'll just start booking myself. I'd be like, okay, look, I got 10 days off between ships. I'm going to put 8 shows up in Seattle. And then when I get off a ship, I go fly me to Seattle. I sit there and I make that money. And then next ship, I go fly me back out from Seattle. And then I just went there for free. It was pure profit trip. And then I made 2 checks on the bookends. Perfect. This next one that I go on, I had 4 days off between ships. I told them, I was like, I want to go to Colombia. I've never been. And they were like, that's international. We don't really send people on vacation. And I was like, okay, here's the thing, though. I get off a ship in Miami. I get back on a ship in Miami. Why don't you Google what it costs to send me from Miami to Los Angeles and what it's going to cost you to send me from Miami to Medellin? I get an email right back going, all right, you got
we've
it.
updated our rules. Yeah, that's funny.
That's the thing, man. They'll send you wherever you go. If you're saving them money, they're like, oh, I don't care. Like, the next one that I get off of, I think I'm going to get off in San Juan. I've never been to Mexico City, so I think I'm going to send me to Mexico City. I've got 4 days off.
Oh, Mexico City is the shit.
That's what everybody says.
And they have comedy there.
Yeah. So I got 4 days off.
Mexico City's the shit.
Got 4 days off. I'm thinking I'm
Oh,
just
man.
going to send me down to Mexico City.
Jealous. So when you do a cruise ship, how long are you on that ship?
It could be. So the contract is for 5 shows, and however long 5 shows is. If it's a 3-day cruise, you'll do 1 show on the first night, 2 shows on the second, 2 shows on the third, then you out.
Oh, so these cruises, it's like no more than a week?
Yeah, but sometimes, man, like they'll give you one that's back to back, so you jump on a cruise. Like, say if it's a 14-day cruise, I'll come on for like the last 4 days, and then those people get off. Another group gets on, and I'm on for their first 4 days. And then I just got 2 paychecks for 8 days of shit.
Oh, wow.
When those happen, it's a beautiful thing. It really is. Like, I was gone for 8 days, and I don't have to work no more this month.
Hell yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, back in the day of the early podcasting, comedians would talk a lot about how they didn't necessarily like doing cruise ships. Is that still a thing?
Dude, they take care of you.
Yeah.
They take care of you. Like I said, they cover the travel. I Uber to and from the airport. They reimburse me that shit. They take good care of you. When people say they don't like doing cruise ships, I can tell you exactly what they're talking about. It's the boredom. All right.
Our downtime.
Yeah, you do a 30-minute show, right? Like that show that night where you got 1 show that night, you have another 23 and a half hours free on a boat.
So you're kind of captive, like a captive audience.
Yeah, and then, as an employee, you can't really cut up like the way the rest of them do. There's some restrictions on you and stuff. You know what I mean? There's places you can't go and whatnot. And so, yeah, anybody who says they don't like doing it doesn't like that. All right? Every show you do, and with everything else going, all the other entertainment on the ship is down for the 30-minute show on stage. So every show is packed. They didn't come there because, what's going on here? No, they came there because they saw the flyers.
So they're good crowds.
Show. Yeah, the shows are always killer. Everybody on there, and they love you when you're done. And but yeah, so that's the great part. Is just after that, it's like, okay, what am I gonna do? I've already read this book. I've already done this. I have I've turned it into a very big positive. I work out like a motherfucker.
Good,
Nice,
great.
yeah.
They got a really nice gym for the guests. The one that they have for the crew isn't really as nice or whatever. And then apparently, like, we used to be confined to the crew gym, but now they said that, yeah, you know what I mean, as long as you don't go during peak hours, you can go to the gym for the guests. And once I heard that, I was like, perfect. I mean, I can kill a couple hours a day in here. And then once I do that, I come back, I take a shower, I go eat, and then I'm like, I got 5 hours for a show. I'm exhausted now. I can take 3 hour nap. wake up, go do this show,
Fully
and repeat.
charged.
Yeah,
Great, gonna come back swole from these trips.
Yeah, right.
right. It's already working. Like
Yeah, that was a great investment. That's a great investment of your time and
yeah, and then
Helps.
I read when I'm out because the TV don't even bother. It's got like 6 channels and half of them are all about. Here's the fun thing about cruising. I'm like, I'm already here. Why are you trying to sell me a cruise?
Book your
Trying to
next one
convince
now.
I'm on the boat. Stop trying to sell me a cruise.
you already got us. Yeah.
Yes.
What about the college circuit?
Never done it.
No.
I mean, I've never done the circuit. I've done one-offs here and there at colleges, and when people say that they're way too PC here now, and they're way too this. Dude, if you use your good judgment, like, there's nothing I do in my show that if you complain about, I can't sit down and go, let's talk about it. And I can tell you, here's why you're stupid for being offended by that. Like, now, don't get me wrong. There's plenty of things in my show that are like that, but not that I would do on a college campus. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I got some shit that I know will get me taken off your campus in cuffs, but I'm not going to do it there. But there's other things that I do, and people, oh, I didn't like that thing you said. Okay, let's talk about it. I've had people burst out in the middle of my show because I have this joke about getting hit on by gay dudes and how it's awesome because gay men will compliment you ways that women will never. You know what I mean? Like, dudes come up and say you look sexy. I'm like, yes, thank you, bro. And then dude, this is in Hollywood. This lesbian chick, she got mad. She was like, you know what? I don't like the way you're targeting the gays. And I was like, hold up, man. I said the dude said I was good looking. I said thank you. I'm like, what negative did I say about gay men?
Yeah.
I was like, what part of that? I was like, you just heard the word gay and you got mad. And luckily there was 2 gay men. There were a couple and they were there. And he goes, yeah, you're supposed to say thank you. He goes, by the way, that joke wasn't even about you. It was about me, you dumbass. And I was like, yeah. Because I was like, you're a lesbian. This has nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
I talk about gay men telling me I look good. Like, and there is nothing that. The only thing I say in the joke that it can be remotely construed as negative is because, like, the dude says I'm good looking, and I say thank you, and then he says you should come home with me. I'm like, I'm not doing that, but thank you. You know what I mean? And
But I'll take the compliment.
yeah, I'll take the compliment, and then I'll take that compliment. And next time I see a pretty girl, I'll be like, somebody in this bitch thinks I look sexy. What's up, girl? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I remember I heard you do it at Rudd's, and you were like, yeah, you would be you should consider yourself very lucky. He didn't like the
like
flick.
10 minutes ago in my head, she would never have me. Now you be fucking lucky to have me.
Then he did the dreads like
And
this.
he's got the hair, which is perfect.
Yeah, man.
The flick, yeah. That's what's up,
it's,
man.
is everybody is so ready to get offended now, and you say the word Trump, they're already mad. You're like, you don't even know where I'm going with this. You don't even know where I'm going with this. What if my joke is that I like him? You didn't even give me a chance.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, you talk about my president. Yes. You know why? Because that's my job. My job is to talk about the shit that's going on every day in front of our faces.
Have you seen the Nike
Controversy
now with the shoes?
I just saw that right before I came here.
Okay.
Basically, they wanted to make a shoe with an American flag on it.
But it was the old Betsy Ross flag with the circle and the 13 stars.
Which has a
the
connotation.
slavery era. Yeah.
Well, it's from the slavery era, but like when like the Klan, everybody, when they were getting shit about the Confederate flag, they started handing out pamphlets with that flag on it.
Oh, that was the new.
Yeah, so that was their little low key thing. So Nike puts out this shoe, and guess how it all gets shut down? Colin Kaepernick.
You know what I'm saying? He wasn't having it.
Colin Kaepernick goes right to Nike and goes, yeah. No, you can't use that flag, man.
The headline says Nike loses factory aid.
Yeah. So Arizona pulled a $1 million grant to help build a new Nike facility.
Or like a tax refund type of thing.
Yeah, they don't want the factory in Arizona now.
Yeah, so that's the flag with Lincoln.
Well, that's crazy because Arizona,
Or Washington.
I'm generalizing, but it's pretty conservative.
Yeah.
So they don't want the factory there because they're pulling the shoe. Because they're scared to make the shoe?
Yeah, they don't want, because they're saying it's disrespectful to America, so you pulling the shoe, so we don't want you in Arizona. I'm like, yeah, okay, you're the last people to make Martin Luther King Day legal, and you're the first people to stop and randomly frisk Mexicans for no reason
And then they
whatsoever.
had Sheriff Joe.
So I already know
Good
where the fuck
points.
you stand.
Good
You know what I
points.
mean? I already know where you
All
stand.
valid
It's
points.
cool. And now everybody's like, boycott Nike because they're not putting out their shoe with that flag. Yesterday, none of you gave a fuck about that stupid ass flag.
Yeah.
No, it was America's flag for like 20 minutes, and no one cared about it. But now, because black people don't want it, they're like, we want that flag. No one. If I told half the people to do it, to draw that flag, they wouldn't know. They wouldn't know how to do it.
Not only that, it's like, bitch, you wear New Balance. The
Yes.
fuck you care about
That was my thing. The first time when they put out that commercial with Colin Kaepernick, and they're like, we're boycotting Nike. I was like, Nike makes Jordans. Your country ass does not spend $200-$300 on those sneakers. Yeah. They don't give a shit about your boycott. If I said I was boycotting suntan lotion, no one would give a fuck. No one cares. Because they don't make a lot of money off me at fucking tropical whatever.
And they probably want to be like on the right side of history, and you don't. The last thing a big shoe company wants to be referred to as is like racist, closed-minded.
Well, okay, but here's the other thing: is they don't want to be referred to as racist, of course not, right? But Nike specifically, you know how much that money they've made off of black men,
Yeah.
right? And what if they said we don't support Kaepernick, and then LeBron and everybody else goes, "Cool, get my name off your motherfucking shoes. We're all gonna go to Reebok right now." You're crushed. So of course they did it. Of course they did it. People are like, good for them. They took a stand for what was right. No, they took a stand for their fucking wallet.
For that profit.
If the Klan was buying nothing but Jordans, Nike would be like, I don't think the Confederate flag's such a bad idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's green, and I think it's really funny because the majority of people who were saying they're going to boycott Nike, mostly rich white men. I love that it's like, oh wow, you don't have the consumer power for once in your fucking life, and it bothers you. It bothers you. I think it's great. Personally, I don't think my people need to spend that much money on fucking sneakers, but I think it's great that it's just like, oh no, we're the majority now. Yeah, no one cares about you. They care about us. Tyrone makes Nike money.
That consumer buying power.
Yeah,
Shit.
man.
Yeah. They break that down for like every demographic, like Latino fucking buying power, so on and so forth.
If I make rice, I'm not going to talk shit about Chinese people. You know what I mean? It's the buying power.
It's true.
That's who wins.
That's true, man. So I definitely got to hit you up while we're out there in L.A. We definitely got to stay in touch. And how can people get a hold of you and follow you and subscribe?
Okay, so my name is Sam Demaris. Last name is Demaris. You Google that, you'll find everything. I'm on Twitter under my name. I'm on Facebook under my name. Facebook, you're just going to have to click follow because I got my page is about to be capped, and then I don't feel like running a fan page. But my Instagram is Mischief and Milkshakes, and it's two of my favorite things. And
Lactose, huh? You like dairy?
Oh, well, I like dairy. Dairy don't like me. I walk around with that bottle of Lactaid. And I sit there popping pills at Dairy Queen. People are like, what's wrong with that dude? He getting high. I'm like, no, I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing this for you. You going to have to get a car with me later. So, but yeah, Mischief and Milkshakes on Instagram. Those are my three. I'm not that active on Twitter. I think Instagram has quickly become my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Facebook is my problem with Facebook now is that it's the comment section. Yeah, because I know you probably have it too. Because you get popular where you got a big following, whatever. People come into the comment section. They're not even talking to you. They're posting because they know that there's a bunch of people watching.
Yeah. They crash the party. They're crashing the party.
If I had 112 friends, they wouldn't be posting shit. You know what I mean? Or they'd be having a legit conversation with me. But once you get above 2,000 people, here they come. Because I know they do it because people will come in and they'll just start shit with other people and they'll go on all this pro-Trump bullshit and this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. And then when I snap at them, that's when I get a private message going, hey, man, you know it's not really like that. Okay, now I know you're a pussy. and I'm really mad at you now because you just acted a fool
Yeah.
to be acting a fool.
Yeah.
And what they don't understand is when you come in on my page and you starting fights with people in my comment section, that makes my real fans who do want to talk to me, that makes them hesitant to talk to me in my comment section because they know there's a bunch of assholes trolling there waiting to start some shit. So you're actually hurting my brand by trying to make a name for yourself when you don't do shit. All you do is sit at home and watch Fox News.
Blocked.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, I don't block them. I let you stay because I want you to see what I'm about to say about your dumb ass.
I love when fans come back and attack the person. Like I literally just saw that on the way here. I was checking some stuff on Facebook and YouTube, and like someone says one shitty thing, and then like 5 people are like, "Fuck you, get the fuck out of here."
Yeah, those are great.
Yeah.
I was beefing with a member of my family. I'll say that much. A member of my extended family, and she came in and she just sniped in and said something shitty in the comment section on one of my, just shitty towards me because of some personal shit that we were having off of Facebook. And dude, my fans just reached in and tore her to shreds.
Nice.
And she sends me a message going, "Why are they doing this? And why would you say?" And I was like, "Hey man, if you got
Shouldn't have been talking shit.
if you got a problem with me, you need to come to me. You know what I mean? Like we family. You had no business doing this on Facebook, and you need to know that my Facebook, those people are there because they like me. They don't fucking know you.
Yeah.
Dude, I've had ex-girlfriends come on and start popping off, and then just bam, and I just sit back at the keyboard. I don't touch it. I'm just like, all right. And they always come back to me going, "Hey man, can you call your people off?" No, this is a free country. I personally like what they're doing.
Let me ask you this, man, because you've been in the game for a minute. Could you maybe describe and pinpoint like a few moments, like for instance, like pretend like when I was 5 years in, I realized and I learned that I needed to maybe, chill on this and do more of this. Or 10 years, I learned I needed to do this. So
when I started out, I actually talked like this, like in my regular voice. If you see my show now, I don't. It's very much up and amplified. And I went for a lot of shock.
Mm-hmm.
I was 21, and I went for a lot of shock and whatever. And some of that would work, but it wasn't really turning into much. I went to go do a show at the Showcase, and he said I'd love to work him, but he's very funny, but he's too dirty for me. And that was the first time. I think I was 3 years in. That was the first time that I realized my shocky shit was costing me. And so I just was like, okay, you don't have to go for shock. What else? Blah, blah. I think I was a year in. I was about 6 months in when I realized that you could repeat jokes. Like, I was writing a new 5 minutes every Monday because that's all you did. And then it wasn't all great. But then I was like, okay, let's go back through some of these notebooks and see what I can keep and what I can go away. I think I was about 3 years in because my way of writing jokes was the newspaper. The last stop was across the street from this. It shared a parking lot with this Kroger. And every Monday, because I told you I was doing New 5 every Monday, I would go get a USA Today, and People Magazine, or Us Weekly. And I would just look at those stories, and I would write jokes about those stories, those current event shit. And so then when I realized you could repeat them, I kept all that current event stuff. But then when that wasn't current anymore, I was losing material. So here I am trying to get up to where I've got a tight 30 minutes so I can go on and feature instead of it being the MC. And I never could because people just stopped laughing at stuff because it wasn't in the news anymore. Or the president would change over and I don't have that joke anymore. And so then, somebody told me, they were like, just start writing about you and write stuff that's timeless, whatever. I mean, God, I'm like 5-6 years in at this point before I'm like, oh yeah, I could just do this joke. This will be funny forever, huh? And then I think I want to say it was like 3 or 4 years in. I want to say 4. I pretty much quit. I took like a year where I just didn't go up. Still had a bunch of friends that did comedy. I'd come out to the last stop and hang out, but I just didn't go on. And then another thing pissed me off. I walked into the last stop and they were in the back and they had a list of all the people who had been doing comedy who flamed out. and they were just like just over the years, and my name was on that fucking list.
Oh.
And I don't know why, but that made me mad. And I went on stage that night, and I was so pumped that's what I started doing, my little yeah, where it just amped up a bit, and I crushed. And I just was like, you know what? Can I just keep this up? And that just kind of became my stage persona. And I mean, I say persona, but it's really just me, except I yell like I'm drunk when I'm sober now. Like, you know, when you get drunk, you get louder. And you just kind of blah, blah. I'm like that all the time on stage, and half the time I haven't even started drinking yet. I'm just like, yeah, no, this is how I do things. And it's weird because, like, a lot of times you do radio interviews, they're like, give me a question that'll lead into one of your jokes. And I do, and then they want me to do it. But now we're in a tiny closed-in room, and they got headphones on. I'm like, bro, if I do this the way I do my jokes, I'll blow out your fucking eardrums.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when
they're
they
like,
ask,
why is he stepping back?
Yeah.
yeah,
He's so reserved now.
he's in the corner of the room.
Yeah.
Oh, I get that too, where people they come to my shows, they see me on stage, and they're like, let's go out and have a couple drinks afterwards, whatever. And then afterwards, they're like, you're nothing like what you are on stage. I'm like, oh, no, it's still in here.
Yeah.
I'm just like, you understand, if I talk like that all day, every day, my voice would be more hoarse than it is
You gotta
right now.
conserve that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a stylistic, like performance choice, basically.
Yeah. And it works. And it's funny because once that's one of the hardest things in stand-up is, all right, man, this is the way, this is my delivery, this is how I'm going to do things, whatever. And then when you finally get there, you set on that. And I've been told it takes a minimum of 5 years to do it. It might have been probably around 5, but I think 8 was when I was comfortable in it. But once you get like, okay, cool, this is the way I'm going to do it. Like, you see Hannibal Buress? He has his little delivery. And once you get to where you find, okay, this is my delivery, this is my persona, this is how I'm going to say it, everything becomes light years easier because now you start writing in that voice. So as the words are going on the paper, that's what you hear in your head. Instead of before you have that, you're like, okay, how do I say this? Like, do I want to yell this part or do I want to say this part quietly? Do I want to do this? Do I want to do that? But then once you have in your head, it's like, okay, this is the way I run shit. This is the way I go. As you're writing, that's what you hear.
Oh, that's genius.
And
That's a little nugget of knowledge right there.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's what you hear, and it's so much easier.
Just like when you hear someone's distinct style, whether it's like a Chris Rock, Cat Williams, or
Or
even
Hannibal.
like,
Good point.
yeah,
with
or
that.
even like Kevin Hart's delivery, like, you know, he has his voice or whatever. So you can already start hearing how Cat Williams would approach a subject. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
But,
dude, when I watch one of those specials like a Kevin Hart or like those guys who they're that distinct or whatever, like you watch Chappelle or one of the, afterwards, man, I'm not sitting down to write jokes for like a week because I hear his voice in my head. You know what I mean? It's not me that I hear anymore. I hear, yeah, nigga, I'm going. I'm like, no, I don't fucking talk like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't talk like that because, especially, well, I'll say that if your special is really good, because I think about that for a while, right? And but what I do here, like for that week, is I watch. When I watch comedy, I like doing comedy has almost ruined it for me because when I watch, I'm watching the way this dude walks. I'm watching when he stops walking. You know, Chris Rock, that pace he does across stage. Go back and watch him again. Every time he delivers a punchline, he's not moving. He's walking.
Still.
He's walking during setups. Every time he delivers a punchline, he's not moving. And it just when you start picking up on mechanics and shit like that, you know what I mean? And just watch Bill Burr when Bill Burr when he puts his hand on that mic stand and he just leans and settles in. It's like, you know something's coming. When that hand comes off that mic stand and he does this, he's looking at it, he's pointing at you, you're like, oh shit, here comes something. Here comes something. Then bam, he just hits you, you know.
It's like Rogan. I always feel like he's calling a fight when he's doing his stand-up because he sounds like he's doing a UFC commentary because he yells everything as well.
Yeah, he is, when I watch mechanics or shit or whatever, he's a hard one to figure out.
He's super, yeah, because he's very animated, but in like
He's
really
very
weird ways.
animated, and it's he does some things that seem like they're uncharacteristic of him, but then doing things that are uncharacteristic of him are characteristic of him.
Yeah.
So he's a hard one. He's all over the place to watch.
Yeah, like when he's talking about Brock Lesnar gorilla fucking you and he gets the stool and bends it over, I'm like, all right, I didn't see that coming, but yeah, that's exactly
Man,
what I
which
would
special
picture.
was that?
I think it was Rocky Mountain High.
Oh, okay.
That last one, though, God, that last one was so good.
That's
Yeah.
when he did the Bruce Jenner and the Kanye thing. And
I think, but
He's like,
that's the one where
Yeah.
Bruce. Yeah.
that was the one where he did the thing about wrestling is gay.
I don't remember.
That might have been
part.
on the one before that.
I'll
Maybe,
remember that
but the
part.
wrestling is gay. That it killed. He's like, have you watched this before? He's like, a guy's wearing leather boots and trunks, and he's on a leather mask, and he goes, anywhere besides that ring, somebody shows up wearing that outfit, they're there to suck dicks. and I just, that's one of the things I love about him is that, like, that's simple. He could have been like, yeah, anybody who shows up like that. Well, but some guys would overthink it and they try to make a funny face or whatever and let the audience finish it. No, he just came out and said it as simple as possible. But because of his delivery, it's still out of the fucking park.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like watching him.
Good stuff.
I do. So I say it kind of ruined it for me, but it's as a fan, I still got my guys. There's still those little specials that wow me. But yeah, it's also because sometimes I'll miss jokes because I'll see a dude like if he turns around or if he does something like this, I'm like, okay, why is he turning it around? Like when he decided that's gonna be the movement for this joke, why did he do this? Then when he comes back around, he fucking does whatever the punchline is. The crowd goes nuts, and I'm like, I'm sitting there diagnosing shit. I didn't see the setup, so I don't know why the fuck y'all going nuts in the first place. So I gotta go back 10 seconds on Netflix, and then I gotta watch it again.
Have you seen anybody recently, this is for both of y'all, that like surprised you at how funny a bit was? Like, there's more and more bits going around social media now of different performers. Like, I saw one of Trevor Noah, and I've never seen any of Trevor Noah's stand-up, and it was fucking hilarious. It took me like 5 minutes to actually laugh because the setup was so long, but it was really funny.
He's 10 times better of a stand-up than he is on the Daily Show.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he got the Daily Show because he was selling out stadiums over in Europe, man. That
In Europe?
Yeah, that kid's funny.
I heard I heard most of his audio book, so his story is pretty interesting. But I heard that there's like a documentary or something on YouTube that shows like his mom even got shot in the head because something about he was blowing up that much. Like they don't know who did it. It was jealousy or something.
Wow.
But they just said he just stormed like in South Africa, like the comedy scene took it by storm, was like a phenomenon.
Yeah, he's got a Mexican Jedi story that's so funny.
Well, I need to do a little bit of homework on him. Shit, going back to I think I talked about it last episode. The topics that Andrew Schultz was tackling. I saw him at the Improv talking about abortion, rape, shit. I mean, I'd have to probably go through my phone because I text my girl. I'm like, man, he's talking about abortion, rape, female circumcision, a whole bunch of stuff. And I was just like, damn, he's thinking about. He's sitting down thinking about these big topics, and I'm like, I'm over here talking about my kids and my wife. But
Phases. Everybody goes through those phases, right? The family phase.
well, it's just different stylistic, choices,
Yeah,
writing styles.
it's.
Well, like Tosh, I was not to interrupt, but I think of Tosh where somebody interrupts him. He's like, "Wouldn't it be funny if somebody raped her right now?" And the crowd goes wild.
Wow.
Yeah, he can get away with anything.
I love that Tosh.
The biggest surprise I've gotten in recent years, because I knew he did stand up, but I thought he kind of dabbled in it. I thought he's more of a sketch guy or whatever because of SNL. Michael Che, that Michael Che Matters special, I had no idea he was that good. Have you seen it?
He's like
Che,
sitting on the stool most of the time. Or am I tripping? No, he stands.
He stands, but he's leaned on the mic stand. He got his foot on the stool. He looks like he's just sitting there chilling on a corner. But dude, he's the Weekend Update guy. He's the head writer on SNL now. But I didn't know. I had heard he did stand up, but a lot of those SNL guys, you hear them do stand up, and then and then you see it, you're like, you're an SNL guy. You're not a stand up. Dude, and honestly, I tuned into it to make fun of it. I was like, here comes another SNL dude trying to do stand up. 2 minutes in, I was like, this motherfucker's crushing. It's good. It's really good.
I saw him live at is it like Warehouse Live? He did this experiment where he rode through a bunch of like off the grid third party venues, like not comedy clubs, like standing where you would normally see like a rock band I thought it was an interesting experiment.
And his special's kind of like that. There's a DJ and a band.
Yeah,
back there on the
Cypher Sounds.
corner,
Yeah,
and-
Cypher Sounds DJ.
So yeah, that one was the biggest surprise to me. I was like, I didn't know this dude was that good. The last one I just watched, I can't say it was a surprise because she's always been great, but Wanda's newest one was really good.
I need to watch that.
Yeah, it's good. She goes in heavy on Trump, but I'm like, you know what, man? That's my buddy when he told me, he was like, you should watch it. It's good. He's like, but there's a lot of Trump stuff. I'm like, she's a gay black woman. It's kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
To her, it's a big deal. So of course she went heavy on Trump.
Yeah, makes sense, right? So overall, man, do you feel like shit? I mean, we talked about this last episode, but like, Houston's good for a lot of stuff, but entertainment, comedy, being LA based or back and forth, you have access to different stuff, huh?
I have access to different stuff. I feel like when you said at the top, you said that I was a staple of this comedy scene, right? Mm-hmm. I've been around in Houston for so long that, like, you know, people know me here, and like I can walk into a room and they will just put me on stage, whatever. I feel like I needed to go to LA and I needed to go get knocked down a peg. I needed to fight and get stage time or whatever. I needed to go back to that to remember how much I liked it. You know what I mean? Like that, because those were, you know, when the carrot was dangling out in front of your face, it was motivation. I'm gonna keep running. I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna get that shit, right? In Houston, it got real easy for me to get real fucking lazy. It just got that way. And so in LA now, it's one of those, you know, I don't want to keep saying things piss me off because I'm not that much of a hothead, but I am. You know, sometimes I go out to a show, man. It's a good show, good crowd, and you watch 8 people go up and 5 of them suck. And immediately I'm just like, who runs this fucking show? Who runs this fucking show? And I'll walk right up to it and be like, what do you need to see from me for me to get on the next one of these? You know what I mean? Like, what do you need to see? And I'll come back. It might take me months, but I'll come back and I'll do it. And I'm just like, yeah, because I felt motivated. You know what I mean? It wasn't me running around. I'm not running around with LA with a bunch of people who already know me and who already like, oh yeah, man, he's established, he's good. No, I'm running around with people who don't know who the hell I am. And I got that novelty of being an out-of-towner. Shit, October, I would have been living in LA for 3 years. Anybody who talks to me, because I'm on the road so much, anybody talks to me, I tell them I just moved there. I lie my ass off. And how long you been in LA? Oh, dude, I just moved here.
Nice.
And I just walk into a room, crush, and then afterwards, hey man, let me get your number. Let's hang out. Blah blah. Let's talk. And you know, and what hurts me is that I'm always out on the road. I'm always out moving around because I'll make these connects, and then you leave, and like the person who runs that room, they got 300 comms coming out in a week. So then I come back a month later. I'm like, hey man, what's up? And they're like, yeah, bro, I'm kind of full up. Whatever. All right. But the thing is also, man, a lot of people in LA are flaky. A lot of people will book themselves for multiple nights at once. If there's a room that you like going to, just go hang out. If they know you, just go hang out. Somebody will not show up. And looks like you happen to have extra time. They're like, Sam, get in there. Got it.
Yes. Yeah, I can relate to the getting complacent at home thing because while we were out there, it was like run and gun, like finite time.
Yes.
We're only here for a month, so it was like it was exhausting. You know, taking them acting classes, rehearsing 3 hours a day with the classmates on that, doing like spots, shows, actual tour stops like Oxnard, Ontario, Hollywood Improv, and then getting invited to do shit like, hey, get on my podcast, or hey, radio interview popped up to promote XYZ. And before you know it, you're just like, fuck, I haven't seen my wife really. Like, man, these kids, you know, like, bye, Dad, where you going? I gotta go cross town to go do this thing.
I gotta get you another stroller.
Yeah, we got to buy these strollers, baby. So the contrast is at home, and I'm already kind of feeling it because last night I didn't hit no mic or did nothing. But it's one thing I noticed in my LA experience, you know, month of June, is depending on the situation or the scenario, like okay, you're going up before this guy and after this guy. What's this guy going to talk about? Okay, he's going to talk about his kids and stuff. This guy's going to talk about some Mexican stuff. All right, let me cut out all my kids' family stuff. Let me cut out all my, like, cultural novelty Mexican stuff.
You see, you're right about that on one part. Okay, the guy who goes up before you, cut that out. If the guy who goes behind you, if he's got that, whatever, that's his fucking problem.
But he's headlining, and he's my boy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I would try to step on people's material.
Well, the thing is, there's so many shows in LA aren't set up like that. It's just like everybody's doing 10, blah, blah, and it's not. It's rare that I get on a opener feature headliner show. You know what I mean? So when it's set up in that showcase format, and every one of us has got 7 minutes, if you behind me, you behind me. I don't give a fuck.
You gotta adjust.
Yeah. If I want to do my Trump stuff and you got 7 minutes of Trump stuff back, that's not my problem.
Yeah. Yeah. So my point is, you gotta have a variety, and you have to have like an ample amount of material to where you can adapt and improvise. And okay, I'm dropping that, rearrange this, or I got stuff about that, or oh, he just did that. Okay, let me take that out. But it's a reminder to like keep writing, keep digging, and keep looking for stuff, because especially on them showcase shows, if you done heard 3 people touch on the same subject and you got something also, it's like, man, that lets you know either you're not that like, oh, I'm hacky because I'm talking about the same shit, not per se, but just like, hey, keep digging and keep finding ways to stand out and differentiate so that you can stand out. Like even that one particular lineup I was talking about, like it was all Hispanic dudes, so it's like all dudes. Like, and there's no female in there, and we're all pretty much Mexican. Yeah. So it's like, please find a way to stand out. Yeah.
Give us something that we didn't see yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've done it before. Like, 3 dudes go up, talk about how much they hate Trump. I go right behind them, talk about how much I love him.
Yeah.
And I don't, but my thing is always, I'm like, dude, you may hate him, but he's funny. He's fucking funny. Go on, man. He's fucking funny. And I do shit like that or whatever. And it's like, yeah, I'm still gonna go in at it, but I'll take the opposite standpoint just for fun. And the other thing is, like you said, if 3 dudes go up and they hit the same subject, especially if you see one that's better than what you had, don't roll yours out. You know what I mean? But if 3 guys go and touch on the subject and they got it, and you're like, but I have a better punchline than all of that. Mm-hmm. Dude, I will not only go on and do it, I will do it. It will crush, and I will look over at all the comics and be like, "That's how you do that joke." I'll do it. And
I'm from Texas, bitch.
And like some comics will think it's a cocky thing, but it's not. I'm not doing that to talk shit on y'all. I'm doing that as an extra punchline for them. You know what I mean?
For the audience.
Because the second I started into that topic or whatever, they were in there. They were sitting there going, "Another guy talking about this shit." And then when I crush with it, I go, "That's how it's done," and the crowd be like, "Yeah!" And I'm like, "Yeah." See, I'm not talking shit about y'all. I'm buttering them up to where the next thing I say that's really offensive, they're already on my side. So
yeah. Well, yeah, man, we're definitely gonna keep in touch, keep an eye on you. Everybody, make sure you follow on Instagram at Mischief and Milkshakes.
Yes.
And but Google Sam Demaris, Demaris. And we'll have you back, man, next time you're in town. Want to dig into like the theater stuff and everything. But thank you for coming, man, and have fun and keep fucking killing it, and keep wowing these audiences, man.
Cool, bro.
Thank you for coming.
Man. Absolutely.
For sure. I will see you in LA as well.